In the weekend astrology of December 30th and 31st, we have a very powerful transit, which is, of course, Venus in its triseptile with Jupiter. Venus now being in Sagittarius, which brings a whole new energy to our relationships. This is going to essentially call us to start stepping outside of our comfort zone or the domain from which we're used to when it comes to relationships. Maybe we've always had a very sort of, cool and relaxed dynamic with our relationship. Maybe we stay in most nights. Maybe we take things easy. But now's kind of a time to say that, maybe we go on an adventure. Maybe we, explore something new, expand our minds or expand sort of our horizons a little bit. So this is a time where we're going to be encountering a lot of this collectively. We're going to be feeling an internal urge to go do some new things, but also we're going to be experiencing our partner asking to do so. And if you're single and you're looking for a relationship, then you might find yourself being attracted to people with interests that you don't normally feel gravitated towards. And it's not so much just a phasic moment. It actually might be a very positive thing, and it might lead you to some kind of deeper truth about what it is that you really want from a relationship. But for sure, one thing that we're going to experience with Venus and its triseptile to Jupiter is a reflective third invitation. So this reflective invitation is essentially a moment looking back where something could have worked out, but the timing didn't feel quite right. Maybe we didn't step into our truth, or maybe the other person didn't do so. But this is a moment where we're almost getting like a recap of what has happened, as well as a new situation or a new opportunity that's arising, or a new chance or sort of opportunity for a deeper closeness with the person we're with. So for Taurus, for example, this is going to be about finding in your relationship, or finding a relationship in which you are seen more, in which you aren't getting lost in the fray of being someone's boyfriend or girlfriend, where you aren't allowing your individuality to be siphoned away or to instead be overruled by another person's dynamic personality or their intensity. And for Aries, this is about finding a relationship where you are given more, where you aren't just constantly giving yourself, but instead are receiving as well. For Pisces, this is about relationship dynamics where you feel much more comfortable speaking, where you feel more comfortable communicating your deepest thoughts, as well as just communicating more often and having more of a powerful communication dynamic. For Aquarius, this might be about confrontation in relationships around the family unit. This might be that, you want in your relationship or in a relationship a better connection between you in the relationship and each other's families. Maybe you've always been in this dynamic where you've just almost kept your relationship partners away from your own family, or you've not wanted to meet theirs. Maybe you've always had sort of issues that were very triggering to you around those types of situations. So now's the time to confront that. For Capricorn, this is about relationships that bring out much more of your younger self, much more joy. Perhaps that there's also some negotiations happening around relationships and having children eventually, or the children you already have and the dynamics that you think would be more appropriate with those children. But regardless, this type of analysis is very important for you. Sagittarius, this energy is very much about relationships and how they relate to your overall lifestyle and health. If you notice that every time you get into a relationship, you become so much healthier or so much unhealthier, it's very important to understand what exactly is causing that dynamic, what behaviors are directly linked to you when you're in relationships. For Scorpio, this is, of course, relationships themselves. This is about what it is that you think a relationship is supposed to have in it. And regardless of whether or not there are things that you need to work on as well, it is valid to understand that you have certain expectations and desires from a relationship, and if you feel like none of those are being met, then now's the time to essentially ask a little bit more, or to be prepared to listen a little bit more so that you can ask the right questions back. For Libra, this is of course happening in a really powerful way when it comes to not being concerned about relationships going to a dark place just because you are having conflicts or disagreements. Understanding that ways in which people, just human beings in general, are phasic. We are very phasic. We go through extreme highs, extreme lows. We go through all types of different life situations, and not to take everything like it needs to be taken so personally, or that it's going to go to such a dark place because it's in a dark place right now. For Virgo, this is going to be about relationships and your connection with spirituality and religion. Right now you might be re-exploring your dynamic with how it is that your religious beliefs are being accepted or completely not accepted when you're in relationships or in the relationship you're in, and reestablishing what type of relationship you want to have with your spirituality as well as the relationship. Maybe you'll never be in a place where the person that you're committed to believes in any of the same things as you. Maybe they never will. That's fine. But as far as the sanctity of your beliefs, it's very important that those things are respected so that the relationship can continue. And this is a great time to explore those thoughts. For Leo, of course, this is about relationships and how they affect you following your dreams, following your life path. You probably had a great deal of times where you were in a relationship with someone, you started to go for this dream that you have, and they essentially have been kind of clawing at you to stop you from doing that, telling you, no, they need much more time with you. No, you're too busy to be doing all of that other stuff and to be pursuing your dream. So you've likely had experiences like this, and it's important to reestablish what you think is an appropriate dynamic so that you can follow your life path, i.e. follow your destiny, and be in a relationship at the same time. And if on the other side of this, that you've been in an unhealthy dynamic where you're investing so much energy there that you're essentially giving nothing to the relationship, then it's an important time to explore that as well. For Cancer, this is a very big one and very common for you guys just in general, regardless of the transit. But this, of course, is relationships in context to your friendships. So this is a time where you're re-exploring relationship dynamics and how that affects your friendships. Are you giving every single waking moment to your relationship partner and excluding all of your friends, and then once you've gone through a breakup or something, you're then reconnecting with your friendships and giving all of your time to them? Is there a healthier dynamic that needs to happen? Or at the same time, is it that your relationship partner is very discouraging in some way or disconcerted with your friendships, and they're trying to eliminate or block those, and so you're finding a way to have a healthy conversation about how you have certain friends, and it's healthy for you to always have these friendships in your life. And lastly, we have Gemini. So for Gemini, you're going to be exploring the ends of relationships. This doesn't mean you're going to be ending the relationship you're in, but you're going to be exploring how it is that you think that relationships are supposed to come to an end. If the one that you're in is one of those relationships that should come to an end, what it is that means, and how it is that you're viewing what it means to separate from another person. For example, if you think that when you break up with someone that means the two of you are enemies, then maybe there's something to reassess here about your thinking. Maybe that in a way you've looked back at previous relationships, you've always sort of had this viewpoint of them that's very negative, and maybe it's time to reassess if that's honest or if that's something that is really of the highest good. And conversely, maybe you've always had the dynamic where you were in some way villainized post-breakup, and so it's a time to explore these thoughts, because those are things that can be hard to leave to rest, and even harder to not accidentally project onto your current or future partner. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I hope to talk to you all tomorrow, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.